Hello everyone, I am Shivi Bhatt and I'll be representing Emergency Response System on behalf of Team Dev Huskies. Our group members are Dhankuwar and Mayank and myself. So let's begin. Let's talk about our ecosystem. The purpose of the emergency response system is to provide essential guidance and keep users up to date about any emergency situations. Additionally, this application also organizes and manages the resources and responsibilities each operational unit in humanitarian emergencies in order to lessen the impact of disasters. We will discuss more in detail about the operational unit in the object model diagram. So let's talk about the problem statement. In the world today is impacted by emergencies on an unprecedented scale. The health, economic, political, and societal consequences of emergencies can be devastating, both in acute and long term. They have major impacts on health and well being, on communities, resilience of health systems, stability of national economies, and progress towards the sustainable development goals. We'll talk about more on this is like managing emergencies can be a problem, especially for developing countries with lack of infrastructure. There is an over reliance on media outlets which sometimes result in false information. There could be some critical information that does not reach immediately and there is no way to filter it out. To solve this problem, we have our one stop solution, that is emergency response system, which will address these all problems. So let's discuss about talk about our emergency response system object model diagram. We have first the ecosystem. In the ecosystem, we have network, enterprise, organization, user account, work area responsibilities, that is work request of the roles and the roles itself. So now we'll talk about the network. In the network, for example, to demonstrate this, we have used an example of California and Boston, which means that our emergency response system is available in California as well in Boston. Now we'll talk about the enterprise. Enterprise, we have three types of enterprises over here: emergency operating unit, incident operating unit, and voluntary operating unit. And each unit has its own organization. For example, emergency operating unit has police department, fire safety department, medical organization, and disaster organization. Similarly, for incident operating unit, we have the incident management department, and voluntary operating unit, we have personal organization, NGO, public health, and company organization. Now we'll talk about the voluntary operating unit in a bit detail. If any organization wanted to register externally into our system, they can do it by using a register. We will see that demo in a bit while. First, let me talk about a bit detail about it, like how this workflow goes. So external users gives the request to the voluntary admin to become a volunteer to any of the organization which he wants to join. So once he places the request, voluntary admin gets the request in his panel, where he sees that one active request has come. He can process it and complete the request. As soon as he complete the request, one user gets activated in the voluntary organization. Once that is completed through user registration request. Now we'll talk about emergency request. Any request placed by the scene manager to the emergency department such as police, fire, medical organization can be done through this request. Reporting admin scene request has the two rules. First, reporting admin can create a scene by itself if he finds any scene nearby. Second, he can approve the scenes if any external organization, such as the voluntary organization, is sending a request for approving a scene with a picture in it. Volunteer scene request. In volunteer scene request, if scene manager sends any request to any of the volunteer organizations, they can complete that request and then send it back to the scene manager. That workflow we'll see in the demo. Other than that is broadcast alert. If scene manager wants to notify to any of the volunteer organizations such as personal, NGO, hospital, company, by clicking on that button, he can send that notification what is the status or what he wants to notify to that organization. This capability is available in SMS, emails, and into the system as well. So now let's start with a demo. I can see here that I've already created the network California to Boston, and I have created the respective organizations and sorry enterprise for the same, that is voluntary emergency and incident for California as well as in Boston. I have already created the username and password for the same. So now I'll go to the register, and if any organization who wants to volunteer, they can join the volunteer organization using the volunteer enterprise using this portal. So let me go external. I'll give the username as an email ID. You can see that here, like if the username already exists, for example, it shows that this username already exists in the system. So I'm giving the unique name. Similarly, for the this uh, email ID as well, it shows that email ID is not in the correct format. So now I'll give this, and I'll select the hospital organization and select the T-Mobile as my current mobile carrier. It's in 4523634. Yeah, and I'll set the location. So I can select this location. Okay, set location, and then I'll select on the register. So when the user is registered, it sent to the mobile as well as email with a confirmation that user has been registered, and the account will take 24 hours to get activated. And once it is done, we'll get the pop-up as user has been registered. So now I can see here, I'll check the mail whether I have got or not. I can see here that okay, that is the old message. This is the new one. Thank you for registering with us. Your account has been activated. Also, I've received the SMS over my phone with the same message. I'll now go to the login with the volunteer admin and check with the username to get it activated. So I'll go to the manage request. I see that there is one request has come. I'll assign to it and then I'll process it. So now this hospital organization is active. I'll go and log in with the same and check whether this is available or not. So I can see I'm able to log in. This hospital has three capabilities. First, he can manage the scene. He can create the scene over here and send to the reporting admin, where reporting admin can verify it whether this scene is actual or fake, and manage request. If any scene manager sends the request to this hospital organization, they can accept it and process it. And the alerts, I can see the latest alerts given by the scene manager, which is nothing but broadcasted alerts. So now I'll create one scene. Injury happened. Injury happened at mall, just like that. Since this is California, I'll give, if I select and give like this and then create this, and it shows that zip code is not in correct format. So I'll give the proper zip code and I'll give this. If I'll give like this, it shows enter integers only. So I'll mention like this. And when I try to mention number of victims as numbers and oh sorry alphabets, so it shows that enter integers only. So I'll mention numbers here and set the location. So I'll select some location of the scene and upload the picture. So picture has been selected, and then I'll create one scene. So now the scene has been created. Now I'll log in with the incident admin and check it. Manage scene. When I go, I see there is one scene which has come from the hospital organization, which I just created with the scene name as injury happened at mall. So I'll select the scene, site name, and assign a reporting admin to it. I'll assign this. So now the status, I can see here the status. Assigned reporting admin. So now I'll log in with the reporting admin user. That is incident user. I'll log in and I'll see that there is one more entry which has come. As soon as I click on this, it shows me all the details of the scene. I'll approve or reject it. I'll approve this one. And then this is forwarded to the status of this is, let me show you. It shows as forwarded to the disaster team. So now internally I'll create one more scene to demonstrate that one scene manager works under one scene only. So two scenes are there, it cannot be assigned to one scene manager. So I'll create one more scene here. Car accident. And I'll set the location. And I'll create one scene. So this reporting admin has two capabilities. One, he can approve the scene which is created by external volunteer organizations or any volunteer organization, and he can create the scene as well from here. So now this is requested. Now I'll go to the disaster team, that is disaster admin. I can see here there are two scenes which have come. So I'll select one scene manager to this. Okay. So now the scene manager has been since successfully assigned. Now I'll try to assign the same scene manager to the another scene, that is car accident, and assign it. It shows that this manager is already assigned to an active scene. So now I need to assign to different scene manager for this. So for that I'll create one more employee. And the user, I'll select the employee. So now when I'll go here, I'll see that there is one more. If I try to assign to scene 1, it also shows that this manager is already assigned. For that purpose, I created another scene manager and I'll assign this. So it is assigned successfully. So now I'll log in with this scene manager and check with it like what all emergencies request scene manager can place, also how many broadcast alerts he can make. So now I'll log in. I can see that already the scene manager has worked on the previous request and then this is one more which is assigned. So when I select for the nearest organization, it shows that the please process the scene before sending the emergency request to organization. So I'll process this. So now this is in the processing state. So I'll broadcast alert to all the volunteers. I'm mentioning injury happened at the mall just to notify them about the scene. So that process just takes a while because it sends to all the organizations. So once that is done, we'll get the pop-up of that. So we need to wait for it once the pop-up comes, and then after that we can search for the nearest organization. In the nearest organization we have two networks, we'll discuss about it. So here we can see that alert has been broadcasted successfully. So now we'll go to the search for nearest organization. We have, as I said earlier, there are two networks, California and Boston. So if I want to send the cross network, I have those capabilities. I'll show you in a while. When I click on view and map, I'll show markers and then zoom out. I'll see all the organization here. I'll zoom in and I'll show you it in bit detail. Yeah. So here you go. I can see hospital external organization which I created a bit, and another organization. I'll zoom it a bit more. NGO fire safety, and here as well pharma fire safety, and the scene where the scene has taken place, injury. Yeah, injuries happen, scene over here. The scene has happened here. So yeah, I'll show you the Boston markers. So I'll zoom in and zoom it a bit more. I need to zoom out. Yeah, I need to go here, zoom in. I can see the hospital organization, Boston NGO. Zoom out. That is say fire safety, hospital. These are the other organizations, and I can see my scene as well over here. Because this is a cross network, I can see the injury happened at the mall. This is a scene which I can see here. So now they're showing as a whole all the organization in the Boston network and the California network. If I want to see for a particular organization, for example fire organization, I can click on view map. I can see only those organization at California. I can see here the scene and the fire organizations available at California. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can see here injury happened at the mall, fire safety organizations. So I'll select fire safety and send the place request. So I'll send that. I'll I'll place a request again. It shows the request to this organization is already sent. So when I click on hospital organization, I see that there is one hospital organization which I have created. And for example, if I want to send to the Boston organization as a hospital, I can send it, place request. It shows a selector row. I'll select this, place a request. So now that request has been sent to one of the organization. So that is to the Boston. Now I'll select the police organization. I'll view on the map, show markers, zoom out. I'll zoom in. and I can see that there are two police organization and the injury where the scene has happened. So I'll select and place one request. So request is sent. So I've sent one to the fire organization, one to the hospital organization of the Boston, and one to the police organization. So now I'll send one to personal organization. I selected view on map, show markers, zoom out. I can see personal organizations and the scene as well. See the personal organization and the organization. So I'll select this, I'll place request. So request has been sent successfully. I'll select the company organization and send the request. I'll first view on the map. I can see here the scene as well as the company. I'll place the request. Request has been placed. Now I'll try to place again. It shows the request to this organization is already sent, which we have done the validations. And I'll refresh this. I can see all the requested emergency requests to the organizations. I'll cancel here too, just to show that the status as cancelled. So this is cancelled, and then again I'll click on this as well. Cancelled. Now I'll go to the hospital organization and check for the scene and as well as the broadcasted alerts. I can see I got the message that you have a new broadcasted alert. I can see here injury happened at all. There is one broadcast alert to me, and there are previous broadcast alert as well here. So now I go to the manage scene request. I see that this request has come. I'll accept this. And the status of this is accepted, and then I'll try to reject this. It shows that request is already accepted. I'll process this request. And then I complete, and it is already completed without any message because I didn't select. I can mention a message or not, so I didn't message. I didn't selected any message and completed the status of it completed. Now I'll again go and check the scene manager. I'll refresh. I'll select first and then refresh. I see this one request is already completed, and the two organizations are still left, and I'll try to mark resolved. It shows that there are pending emergency requests for this scene. Please wait for them to be completed before marking them resolved. So before completing this request, I cannot mark the scene as resolved. So I'll go and check with the police head. See it. So I see that there is one request which has come. I'll accept this request. It is accepted, and then when I try to reject, it shows again request is already accepted, and then I'll process it. and the status is processing, and then I'll complete the request. So request has been completed. I'll again go here and select this and refresh. I see that there are two requests has been completed and one is cancelled. This is the one which is to the Boston network, that is a cross network, and we have already sent the broadcast alert to this. We'll check the mail as well for this. I see here the alert message has come. The injury happened at the mall, this which I have sent. It has gone to two different IDs, so I can see here as well because I have subscribed to that, so I'm also able to see here as well. So yeah, so now what I'll do is I'll go to fire safety and reject the request to show the status of the rejected request under the California. We have already covered the cross network request here, which I have completed. I'll log in with fire safety. So now I can see there is one request which has come and the status is requested. I can reject this request or accept this request. I'll reject this. So now the status has been rejected. Now I'll check in with the scene manager and see the status. I'll select this and refresh. I see there is one status is rejected. So now all the status has been addressed. Now I can click on this mark as resolved and refresh this. It shows that it is resolved. So now I'll go and check with the disaster admin. See a disaster admin and manage scene. I see that there is one scene that is injury happened at the mall is already resolved. So now I'll just log in with the system admin and show you the graph. So Boston has 5 and California has 4, and number of scenes, this is floods, fire in the building, injury happened at the mall, estimated loss, and number of victims. So I can download this graph as well. First I'll delete the old graph. So I'll download this. It shows that downloaded in your current directory. I can click on this. I can see the injury happened at the mall and etc. So that's all from the DevHuskies team side. This is our emergency response system project. Thank you all. This is our email ID. If you have any question, you can reach out to us in the below email ID. Thank you everyone.